Are we charging or overheating?
Charging. It gets like a red symbol sort of like towards the top middle of that display. That'll be like, hey, I'm getting hot. I'm hot for you. In a bad way.
Alright, so those windows are closed. If we hear any noise in there, this time, I'm going downstairs.
Don't leave me.
I'm gonna go find the sage.
You coming back with sage?
I'm coming back with sage, and I'm gonna open all the damn windows so that motherfucker can just float right out.
Fair.
Welcome to an Anomalous Aberration. Warning, this content is intended for mature audiences only due to graphic content, adult dialogue, and poor research. Feel free to check out our social medias linked on www.anomalousaberration.com, and thank you so much for listening.
Alright, so I'm Darcy.
I'm Jen.
This is an Anomalous Aberration.
Hi.
Hello. Today we're going to talk about a pretty famous one, the Sallie House. And the Sallie House is at 508 North 2nd Street in St. Atchison, Kansas. And they do tours, and they let you rent it out at night.
You can rent it out at night?
And
How far is Kansas from
I want
here?
to go. I'm telling you, I want to go there. I want to make a double trip. I want to go to the Sallie House, and I want to go to the Villisca Axe Murder House in Iowa.
Right on.
We'd have to make like a Midwest trip.
We can do that someday.
One cool thing I'm going to say before I forget, because I made a little mental note, and I don't want to forget to tell you. The Sallie House address is 508 North 2nd Street. Okay? So is the Villisca Axe Murder House.
Ooh. Drawing
Just a little fun fact.
Drawing uncomfortable parallels here.
Just to be careful if your address is 508 North 2nd Street.
I don't think I've ever lived at a 508 anything. Lived at a 504, 206, and then like everything else was like 5 numbers, I think.
Mm-hmm.
4 or 5 numbers. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't either.
Huh?
I was thinking about addresses in my head.
You're clicking them off.
Yep. Yep. So yeah, and they both pretty much took place around the same time frame too. So, all right. Sallie House was built in the 1800s, and it's said to be the scariest house in America.
No, that's Twilight Zone. Yeah, okay.
It could be.
Or re.
Yeah. I was getting ready to do the Jeopardy tune. That ain't right.
And here's some trivia.
This house became the home of an Atchison doctor. He and his family lived upstairs, and the downstairs front of the house served as his doctor's office.
Right.
Which is really weird. You walk in the man's front door, and it's his doctor's office.
The purple house in town is like that.
Yeah?
The one next to Dollar General.
I've always wanted to go in there and have never been in there yet. It's in Crisfield, Maryland, and is it Main Street?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big purple place on Main Street. It's beautiful.
People live there. Leave them alone.
Yes.
But before they bought it, I was in there, I don't know, probably at least 10 years ago now. And the floors are really cool. Mm-hmm. And like it had some of like, you know how you see on the outside of houses like, I want to say knees or elbows or whatever those things are called. They're up like in the eaves.
Mm-hmm.
Like I would say gingerbread, but it had it inside. Like, you know, the fancy scrolled pieces of wood and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Like inside of the house, and the floors were like, I want to say parquet. Is that the right word?
Like square wood tiles?
Yeah. There was like
like on The Sims?
It wasn't really wood tiles, but it was like lighter wood and darker wood mixed together to make a pattern. Mm-hmm. Like herringbone, or it wasn't herringbone, but it was like almost like a giant square, but lighter wood, darker wood, lighter wood, darker wood.
Antique fancy flooring.
Yeah, it was fancy. There we go.
Fancy shit.
I've only seen a couple houses like that still have that, you know, original floor.
I was reading that people travel from all over to tour the infamous haunted house, though you have to sign a waiver because people have been hurt in the house before on tours.
Damn it, watch your step, people. No, I don't know.
That's probably what it was. They tripped and said something shoved them into the wall.
That would be me. I would just trip and be like, fucking ghost. So I didn't feel so embarrassed.
According to the Chamber of Commerce, because that's who takes care of the house now, I have a suspicion about this because a lot of towns have places like this. They get something turned into like a landmark. Oh, it's haunted. Mm-hmm. And it's just so they can get the funding to not have to have a historic home in their town tore down.
Oh, they just like, oh yeah, it's haunted, and then run with it.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It may be haunted. It may not be. I don't know. But I always am suspicious when it's like the Chamber of Commerce doing it instead of the Historical Society or something like that. Maybe they don't have a historical society in that town. I don't know.
Two different words there that are very important. Historic on one side, commerce on the other.
Right.
So, yeah, I feel you on that.
I don't know. I always like sticking it to the man.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
No, the man can have it. I'll stick him with it too.
Yeah, but they've said no injuries have occurred since 1993, so that's a good sign. That's a good sign.
That's pretty good track record.
Maybe whatever's in there is lying dormant for
What's
now.
that, almost 20 years? Mm-hmm. It's pretty good.
So the history on the Sallie House says that it's haunted by a young girl named Sally, and she died on the premises. So here's one of the stories. I'll tell you the other conspiracy story after this one, because I don't know if I remembered to write it in my notes. So a mother comes in one day with her 6-year-old daughter, complaining of lots of lower abdominal pain, like in so much pain, the poor child. And the doctor diagnoses it as appendicitis to the mother. And he says, we have to operate right away, ma'am. We can't wait, or we're going to lose her. So supposedly the doctor gives her the anesthesia, but he starts operating before the anesthesia has time to take effect because he can't afford to wait.
What time is this? Like time frame? I'm sorry. Because I'm like wondering what they would have used for anesthesia around this time. Like, are we talking a rag over the face?
1800s.
Oh, we're talking a rag over the face.
Yeah. So here's little Sally, and this is how they describe it. It's pretty graphic. She's laying on the table and she's writhing in pain, like she's being cut open. She can feel everything. Just keep that mental image in your head there. So it's said that she ends up dying on the table. It's too late, you know. And that her spirit now is in the Sallie House, as it's so rightly named, because she doesn't realize that the doctor was trying to help her.
Right. How old was she?
She was a young 6-year-old little girl. Yeah. So they're saying her spirit's confused, and the last thing the spirit probably remembers is this older man hurting her, you know. But supposedly up till this day, like, Sally doesn't treat older men very nicely in the house.
She pushes them into walls and shit?
She scratches them.
Oh, God.
Somehow burns them, even though there's, like, no flame. That's just two of the things that I can remember off the top of my head.
So she's spicy.
She's spicy. She's spicy, or one of the other spirits that mediums and psychics and all that from around the country have said.
So there's more than one?
Inhabit the home, yeah, because supposedly it's not just Sally.
Well, how many do you need? Come on now, don't be greedy.
Some of the mediums and psychics, I can't remember, I didn't write down their names, but they believed that a darker force inhabited the home.
Demons.
In fact, upon researching, I found that 4 deaths were actually documented as occurring in the Sallie House.
Good Lord.
Mm-hmm. All of natural...
Well, I was getting ready to say, I guess since the 1800s, that's
causes.
Not that unusual.
The first one was Michael Finney, who was the person who built the home. That was 1872. Next was Richard Edwin Finney. He died in 1874. Then
2 years later.
Then you had William True, who was the son of, I believe, Michael Finney. I don't know why he took his mother's last name, but anyway, him in 1918 had died, and then his wife, Agnes Finney True, died in 1939.
Okay.
But, let's see. I was saying that they believed other spirits lived in the home, and the mediums had supposedly communicated with Agnes Finney, the daughter of a couple who owned the house the longest, Charles Finney, the doctor, Edith, a senile old woman. And when they looked at records, there was a woman named Edith who had lived next door.
Oh, okay. So she's just visiting the neighbors. Forever.
After she dies.
Forever.
But they say she's a senile old woman. She's walking around. She doesn't know where she is. She doesn't know what's going on.
Oh, God.
Frank Jr. was a man who passed away a year after Sallie when his mom apparently failed at a dual suicide attempt that killed him, but not her.
Okay.
So a lot of
Yeah.
traumatizing stuff going on.
A little bit.
Yeah. Joanna Barnes, a very dominant woman spirit who lived next to the Sallie House until 1906. What is it with the neighbors visiting?
I don't know.
It's weird. It kind of reminds me of
Yes.
Murder House.
Yes. That's what I was thinking too. That's exactly what popped into my head.
Yeah, these neighbors, they're just going to stay there for all eternity.
Yeah.
Maybe they really liked the family.
I guess.
Maybe.
Maybe the house really liked them, so it's collecting people.
Maybe.
You know.
That's a creepy
That's
fucking
like, you're
thought.
cool, come on over. And stay.
Paul, who was a slave boy who had been lynched. Ryan, a relative of Sallie's. That's all they said. So I don't...
Random Ryan.
Yep. Tom Burns, a Civil War soldier who appears in uniform. So you got all that spirit activity supposedly going on in the Sallie House. Like you'll see the Civil War soldier. Something will play with toys in the bedroom upstairs. Like they've come in. You can get scratched. You can get bit. You can get burnt.
It sounds a little kinky.
The family that lived there said that Sallie, they had a birthday party for her. Like the woman was so excited about this ghost.
Are you
She
serious?
had always wanted to see a ghost, but her husband was like skeptical. There's nothing here, blah blah blah, till things start to happen after they have a baby.
Right, gotcha.
So Tony and Deborah, this is 1992. They move into their dream house.
And it's the Sallie House?
And it's the Sallie House is their dream house. Okay, they're gonna start a wonderful little family here. So they think.
Hold on, I have to look up a picture of this.
Sallie House.
Yeah.
It's their dream house. I don't know. I don't know.
I just don't recall having ever. I'm sure you posted it. And I just didn't pay any attention.
When interviewed, they were expecting. When they were interviewed, they said that they were expecting their first child, and they were excited to start their life together in their little new dream home. Maybe it was to them. I mean, like...
Okay, well, this picture on the visitacheson.com website, that's freaky.
That's some Amityville glow window shit.
Yeah, it's just,
I saw that on their page.
I mean, it's not an ugly house at all. I could definitely see it being somebody's dream home. It sits kind of right on the ground, too. Doesn't it?
I hope it doesn't flood there.
Well, Kansas, I think... No, probably not.
Kansas City, here I come. I really want to go.
I don't know. I mean, it's sort of a nondescript house. Nothing about it, like, stands out. I mean, I guess except for the fact that it is literally crawling with ghosts. Okay.
Oh, let me tell you before I get, because I said I was going to tell you, because I forgot to write it in my notes. Now, there's the one story you heard about Sallie being well, there's another more twisted one. So, supposedly, people said that Sallie was the mixed child, biracial child, of a local black woman and the doctor.
Okay.
And that he kept the little girl behind closed doors in the house, like, all the time, so nobody would
Like a dirty little secret.
see her, like a dirty little secret. And that eventually he knocked her off.
Ugh.
Because he couldn't have the town knowing that he had a biracial child. Now, I don't know.
Brutal.
Sally seems awful angry in some of these stories.
Either way, no matter whether it was the appendicitis thing and like some hack job, or whether it was I'm a biracial child and somebody has like stuffed me in a closet under the stairs, whatever the hell happened there, I'd be pissed too.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be pissed too.
Mm-hmm. Hey.
There's always time for anesthesia.
Okay, so that's the other. I could not find much on that, like maybe 2 snippets of articles, Wikipedia, and I want to say allthat'sinteresting.com, plus a little bit off of the actual Chamber of Commerce website there for Atchison, Kansas.
Okay.
I had also heard it on YouTube channel, Cody and something.
I don't know.
I don't remember. I'm sorry,
We'll try
guys.
to figure it out.
I don't
and
remember.
Put it up here or link it down below.
They had a medium come in, and she was just like, the story is not like it was told. There's something really angry down in the basement, and
I gotcha.
you know. Oh, and that was another thing. When they went to the house, there was a big old double star.
Like a pentagram?
Yeah,
Oh.
in the basement, but it was like it had been burned into the floor.
That's
So the Chamber of Commerce had it like
different.
removed, like covered over.
What, with a nice Persian rug?
No, it doesn't look nice at all. Like it's online. I will put the pictures of it up there. What they did, they just kind of blurbed it out with like a big black smudge down in the basement. But
Okay, so they just like painted over it or something. Mm-hmm. I gotcha.
But you can do an overnight stay. It tells you on the website the prices and all, because I can't remember. But supposedly, if you go, the place you want to stay the fuck out of is the basement. He needs to turn that down.
That freaked me out for a minute there. Everything.
I had to get that last motherfucking word in.
Yeah.
So Tony and Deborah Pickman, they moved into the house in 1992.
Their dream house.
Their little dream house, and things were strange after only a few months of moving into the home, they said. But nothing at first that didn't have like a rational explanation, like nothing.
Wreck.
Sound like a broken record over here. It's a mix.
Yeah.
Considering it was an old house, they tried to contribute a lot of it to like wiring issues at first.
Things are settling after 190 years or whatever.
Pipes in the walls, like at first they were trying to ignore any of it, but then things started occurring more frequently after the baby was born. Toys would move around the nursery on their own.
Kids just amp that stuff right up for some reason.
Yep. Toys began moving on their own. Deborah started to feel concerned. Tony was skeptic, like I said at first, which was her husband, but Deborah was all for it. She'd always wanted to see a ghost. That's how she felt at first about it. And I remember thinking, do I want toys moving around in my newborn baby's nursery?
No. Not even a little bit. Like, as a parent, that's like, especially when they're small and helpless and floppy like that, like, number one concern, keep the child safe. There are things going on in the child's room that you don't understand, see, or no.
She felt bad for the child's spirit to the point where this woman was buying gifts.
Oh, so let's make offerings.
For Now, meanwhile, you don't know if this is really a little
No.
girl or a fucking demon.
Right.
Okay? I firmly believe in that stuff. So,
That's Demon Dave sitting there fucking with your kids' toys, and you're gonna go buy him some gifts. Mm-hmm. Here, Demon Dave.
so supposedly she gifted Sally this doll. And this is just a bunch of little fun stories I found from investigating it online, researching and such. But she bought it a doll. She left it in the box with the wrapping paper and the bow on and just put it in the corner of the room, the nursery, where things like to move around.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow the doll, supposedly, allegedly, got out of the box without the wrapping or the box or the bow even being disturbed.
That's Demon Dave.
Transported
that ain't
shit.
Sally. That's Demon Dave.
She transported that shit out of that box. She's a powerful little girl.
That ain't that little girl. That's Demon Dave.
That's Demon Dave. Be careful what y'all talk to out there. For real. And don't be giving shit gifts.
Especially not Demon Dave.
But here's the worst thing about it that I found in one of the interviews. She thought that it'd be nice to have a birthday party for Sally.
Sweet. Understandable. But don't do that shit.
And allegedly, Sally lit the candles on the cake.
No, okay. Let's celebrate the thing that can, do some, what is it called? Pyrogenics?
Pyrokinesis.
Pyrokinesis? No. No. Nope, not in my house. No.
So like I said, this is all stuff that this family told the news. Like, they were on a big time, kind of like E.T. Tonight channel back then. I wrote it down, I think.
If you come up with that magazine that's in the freaking checkout aisle, I'm gonna die in the floor right here. What's that shit called?
No,
Do you know what I'm talking about?
It wasn't. I know what you're talking about, like the National Enquirer.
Yeah, there you go.
No. I thought that I wrote it down.
My mom was
Oh, I did.
stolen by aliens.
It was a show called Sightings, and they called it the Heartland Ghost Sallie House.
Okay.
And it was on, God, hours of footage I seen
Really?
on the Sallie House, how they brought this median guy through, and as soon as Sally felt his presence, he said she was angry and he was telling her to be nice.
Damn.
Like, and I told you the one guy, it looked like something had held something up to his leg and burnt him. Mm-hmm. She burnt the arm of the one median guy on that show.
Nope.
If you believe it. I do. I love all this kind of stuff.
I love it, but it makes me uncomfortable.
I thought this one would be fun. Just a little bit about that. So yeah, Deborah's like, oh, it's just little things. I'm not worried about it right now. The activity speeds up even more. And it increased so much that it began interfering with the baby's sleep.
Oh, God.
Their dog would constantly growl, and they had no clue what he saw, because at that point nothing had appeared to them.
Man, do not mess with the baby's sleep. Do you remember having a baby?
You can,
Like, when
you
they were
barely get
small.
any sleep.
Sleep was not like...
Every 2 hours he wanted to eat.
Yes, I was a zombie for the first 4 months of Bree's life. And I had people to help me. I did. Thank God I had good family and good friends. But man, I was a zombie still.
Yep, it upset their dog something fierce. They said the dog would constantly growl, and they didn't see anything.
Right, the dog did not approve.
So,
Not dog approved.
other weird events started to take place as well, and they all seemed to be threatening Tony.
The one who was skeptical.
The husband, the man.
I gotcha.
Okay, said that nothing ever bothered Deborah or the baby. Just Tony while they were there. And I'd be like, honey, I'm sorry, I love you, but we gotta move.
Right? I'm gonna go stay at the Holiday Inn.
So
Motel 6, whatever.
Candles started to light themselves, and fires broke out without explanation in the home.
No.
Yep. Paranormal research teams came in and told the Pickmans that Sally wasn't the only spirit there, as I said.
There's too much going on here.
The violent middle-aged woman is the one
from next door?
is the one they believe that's lighting fires.
Oh.
It could be the senile old lady lighting fires. We don't know. They said
yeah.
middle-aged, though. So,
Well, I think you can actually be senile. I think dementia is a thing. Like, I don't mean this to sound rude, but I think it's a thing that can actually happen fairly early in your life. Like, you don't have to be 85 years old for that to happen.
so back then, television graphics weren't that great. Okay?
Yeah, they were.
They
They were so much better than they are now. Like, CGI my ass. I want the puppet on a string. I want the UFO that's made out of tinfoil bouncing.
But while I was watching this sighting show, The Heartland Ghost, Tony's sitting there with all these people with cameras, recorders, whatever. They're trying to pick up everything. They're in there investigating on live television. And he gets scratched on camera. Like, these scratches, he says, ow, and then these scratches just start appearing on him and stuff like that.
Nope.
So
Why is he still there?
Yeah, I mean, if they didn't fake it for TV, but I just thought that was crazy. Like, I don't know how they could have done that. I don't know.
Not unless, like, everybody was in on it. And then, like, shame on you for trying to trick everybody if that's the case. But, like, what is that noise? Do you hear that?
Is
it
that the
raining?
wind or is that rain?
If that's wind, we better go to the cellar. See if there's a pentagram on the floor down there.
Here we go, Kansas City.
That's gotta be rain, right?
I said I was not going to Oz today.
Dude, that's rain. Okay.
It's hitting the metal roof.
Okay. My butthole puckered up a little bit there. I was like, bitches be tripping. All right. Anyway, sorry. Sidetracked.
So, on several occasions, Tony said that he had to be very careful going down the stairs because something would try to lift and him down them. On several occasions.
Rude much. I can handle this myself. I don't need help.
And I'm gonna stop right there. And I wrote this in my notes. Wouldn't you have called a priest or moved by now?
Or both. Call the priest in. Go ahead and leave first and make the priest go in and figure that out by himself.
Which eventually they did move out. But mind you, they brought the news crews and all that stuff and stayed there for a long time. Like,
They're better than I am because I don't know how long I'd hang out with little fires everywhere.
it's crazy. It is crazy.
Being scratched and burned and no.
I've seen Amityville and The Conjuring, and when the dog starts acting up, it's time to go.
The dog.
So
That's a good sign.
right here at the top, when
your
they
dog
said
meter.
the dog was barking at something you couldn't see, that was your clue. Hit the road, Jack, because
You've been warned.
you've been warned. Okay, animals know. Animals know. They see things we don't see. So, like I said, many paranormal research teams have investigated the Sallie House, and one of them was Elijah Buckholes.
Buckholes. Yeah.
Buckholes. Not
I hope
buttholes.
that's right, because it sounds like we're saying buttholes.
I'm not. I'm trying to pronounce it. Buchholz. Buckholes is I don't know.
We're from Maryland.
And he says he feels like
Pronunciation.
every time they come back to the Sallie House to investigate, it gets worse. Whatever's in there is feeding off your energy. You keep going back,
Yeah.
it's going to get worse.
it's getting familiar with your ass because you keep hanging out with it.
Yep. And Jesus, that rain is loud.
Isn't it? It is coming down.
They report all kinds of equipment interference during the investigations on the place, and mysterious footsteps at night.
No, I don't like that either.
And here's the one thing that frightened me. They say that you can smell horrible odors that smell like sulfur.
And rotting meat. Really?
Death. Just like something's dead, something's dying, something's burning
Yeah.
meat, and sulfur.
There's always sulfur.
And it's frequently smelled coming up out of the basement.
Nope.
And that's why I told you at the beginning of this, stay out the basement.
It's not for playing. It is for storage of your Christmas decorations. That's all you go down there for.
I've heard that too, like Chip Coffee, I think it was, or Ghost Adventures, one of those shows, because I used to watch them all. Would describe the horrible odor, the meat stench or whatever it was, as demonic.
Yeah. Ugh. I don't
Now,
like
having
it.
seen some shit in real life myself, I totally believe it. I do. Some of it made up for television, I'm sure, but there's some truth behind the hauntings.
Otherwise, why would people say such similar things? Even like across the board, any experience, they usually say similar things. I was scratched, I was burned, I smelled this, I saw that, I heard this. It's very similar, no matter where it is, who it is, when it is.
Yep. So I mainly just wanted to talk about this place because I'm trying to talk her into loading up the truck. And
No, we're gonna hop on a plane because that's a long drive. You got cold hands.
Cold hands, warm heart.
What's hot hands mean?
Soulless like Amber Turd.
Thanks.
Soulless like Amber Turd. Yeah, and that was my whole thing. Like, the spirit in the basement. And this tickled my funny bone, so I'm a little twisted, okay? Likes to throw bricks.
Bricks?
So make sure if you go down there, you got a helmet on.
I guess so.
I don't know what I was thinking writing this. Make sure you have a helmet on so you don't get a concussion.
That's a lot of work, though. Why would you throw bricks? Have you ever thrown a brick?
Yeah.
Them shits is heavy.
And the fact that they have to steal their energy from everything else around them.
Yeah. They're putting in a lot of work.
Yeah.
These spirits and ghosts and shit.
Can you imagine living in a haunted house for 2 years or more? And I'm not talking Casper the Friendly Ghost either.
No.
Like we're not talking Casper. 2 years or more.
That's exhausting.
Like, how did they stay there as long as they did? And some say, like I said, it's a historic home, and the haunting is being fabricated to keep it from being demolished. So if they label it as a haunted house, because there's a lot of people that said that too, if they label it as a haunted house, they have no funding to keep it.
Well, isn't it not like on the, well, I guess you don't get funding for that National Register of Historic Places or whatever?
I don't know. But that's just some people's theories. Like, they've come in there and they're like, there's nothing in here. Like, even the people who lived in it last, they had no issues, no experiences. I didn't look further into that to see if whether or not they had a man in the household or if it was just a woman and kids or not.
Yeah.
But supposedly they didn't have any issues in the home. The median, the one that I was telling you about that they brought in on several times, who just said it kept getting worse and getting worse. When he first went to the house, he was led to a graveyard. Like the spirit took him,
Like
told him to
nearby
go to
in the neighborhood,
go to this graveyard,
in the tree out back.
Oak Hill Cemetery in Kansas.
Okay.
I think he said he had to drive across town to get to it. So something in the house just came right to him as soon as he got there and told him, you need to go to this graveyard. He was psychic Peter James.
Okay.
And he was led there in 92, it said.
Okay, so that's before the Dream House people, Deborah and Tony, that's before they moved out, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's one of the investigators they brought in
I gotcha.
through sightings to help with the house. So he's taken to this cemetery. Supposedly he's being guided there. And it takes him to a grave of a woman named Sallie Isabel Hall. But the weird thing about that was this woman lived for 34 years. Was not a 6-year-old child named Sallie.
Okay.
So that's another theory, that there is a Sallie, but it's not a child.
Right. Different Sally.
Birth 1871, death 1905.
Okay.
Died of pneumonia complications. But that was weird that there's 2 Sallies linked to that house. So now I did think that I read that the pentagram was painted on the basement floor, but the Chamber of Commerce painted over it.
Right.
They painted over it, looks like with black paint. Like, if you go, and I cannot remember the name of them. It's two young boys, and then they bring along two of their friends, Cody and something. We'll put it below.
Yeah, I was gonna say Emily could probably tell you.
So I found a couple weird facts surrounding Sallie House that I wanted to share.
I love weird facts.
I like to write down, or maybe just unusual facts even.
Unusual is right up my alley.
When they dived in a little deeper to the doctor, he was also the mayor of the town.
Okay.
Which is why people were more ready to believe that he had that little biracial child. And he didn't want anyone finding out because he was the mayor.
Maybe.
That's one of the other,
So what did
I guess, lore, because we don't even really know.
Right.
The legend, maybe? Speculation legend? I don't know.
How many people would you have to whack to keep everybody from finding out, though? I don't know. People are gonna know. They might not talk about it, but people know. People know. You can't hide a kid and the baby mama and anybody else who knows.
So the doctor used to ice skate under the name Miss Colby from Baltimore.
Who's that? What?
The doctor would transvestite himself up.
Mm-hmm.
And he would ice skate under the name of Miss Colby from Baltimore. Cannot make this shit up. That part, I believe, was in the Wikipedia thing that I read.
I mean, you do you, but that's a little weird. He's the mayor. He's the doctor. He's a what? A transvestite. An ice skating transvestite? Sounds fabulous.
Especially for the 1800s.
Yeah.
Like, they had ice skating shows back then where men dressed as women. Back
In
then.
Kansas?
In Kansas. Y'all didn't lynch them motherfuckers? No. Don't cancel us. Don't cancel us.
It's incredible, and I'm impressed to learn that. I am. That's, like you said, in Kansas?
In Kansas. Very unusual. Very unusual. Okay. So we talked about Sally's room being full of toys that start talking when people come to visit.
Mm-hmm.
One of them, in one of the investigations to me, was like they set it up like that on purpose. It ended up being a motion detector toy.
Oh, boo.
Boo, Chamber of Commerce, boo.
Boo. A shadow outside can set those things off. Bree had one that did it all the time, and I couldn't get the damn battery out of it.
And then I wrote down here too that after watching that Colby, maybe it's Colby and not Cody. I'm so sorry, guys, but I watched one of theirs, and an 8-ball flies down the stairs twice. Like, they were playing with this magic 8-ball.
Oh, I remember you telling me about that, yeah.
And the first one, I think they debunked because they said his foot could have hit it when they were running out of the room when they heard something else, and it got kicked down the stairs.
Possible, yeah.
But then the second time it happened, they were all downstairs. And when they went to look and see what the noise was, it was the damn 8-ball at the bottom of the stairs again.
So they brought it back up and put it back?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they put it right where he had accidentally nudged it with his foot before, trying to debunk it. You know what I mean?
Right. To see, like, is this a fluke? Is this something that's going to happen again? Like,
so
what's
I
going
was
on
like,
here?
man, I might get binged in the fucking head with an 8-ball. I don't know if I want to go or not.
Right. As long as it's not a real, like, pool ball. I mean, I think the magic 8-ball would hurt
hard.
enough.
It would hurt.
But one of them, like an actual freaking pool ball? No. Thank you.
The manager of the Sallie House says that Sallie turns on the stereo because she loves music, and that she leaves her ball at the top of the stairs. So maybe she thought that the 8-ball was a ball.
Just a ball. A toy. It's a toy. I keep feeling something move up, like, behind my head.
That's okay.
I think it's just
I just heard a man talking behind me.
Huh? What? Huh?
I'm not even fucking kidding you.
What?
I thought I heard a man just talking right behind me.
Stop it. Because I will climb my ass out the window and jump off your roof.
It was just Dan's TV down there. I don't know. I've had enough of this upstairs room tonight.
Yes.
I don't know what's going on, but
Run away.
I've had enough of it. So the caretaker of the Villisca Axe murders, which I want to talk about when I finish that one, because I don't believe I finished that one. Actually, I may have. Oh, I told you guys about the doll. So something took it out of the box without unwrapping it.
Demon Dave.
Mm-hmm. And the caretaker of the Villisca house. If you watch the Villisca house axe murder YouTube videos, this guy's in a lot of them. And there's even a main one with him just talking. He says that he was burnt when he went to the Sallie House.
I don't like it. I don't approve.
I don't know if I want to go somewhere where I'm going to get scorched.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I'm not a man, so I'll probably be safe from what they're saying in these stories, that she only really goes after older men.
Right.
If it's her at all and it's not that senile old woman.
Right.
Or
she's just trying to light her cigarette.
Or the pissed off middle-aged lady.
Who also just trying to light her cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yep.
That's a mess.
But I just thought that I'd cover a few of the things that I thought were funny about that. And not funny.
Well, peculiar.
Peculiar.
Yeah.
During one investigation, Tony was scratched 11 times, almost all caught on the film.
Good God.
One took place on Heartland Online. People watched it live. So, and then there was EVP picked up during editing. They had this CIA guy named Eric Wilson who found frequencies that can't be made electronically or by people, he said.
Oh, that's my cousin.
Is that your cousin, Eric Wilson?
No, not really. I don't think. I don't know. Who knows?
Then Tony asked Sallie to let them know she was there, and you could hear a humming energy noise that they said explained a child's voice was saying here on the recording.
Now, when we're talking about a humming energy noise, in my mind, you know what I'm talking about when I say like high voltage power lines? Mm-hmm. You know, the ones you're not supposed to go under that we did like dumbasses when we were kids? That noise, or like, what do you think?
I think they meant like a little kid going here or something
with
like
high energy?
That. Like
here.
Not with like high energy, but like, you know how the noise comes through the TV on Poltergeist?
Yeah, like that.
It's like electric-y, static-y humming.
Is it online? Can I listen to it? Like, I mean, I don't mean right now, but
yeah, you probably can.
You can find it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. When Carol Ann's talking through the television.
No, not that. From the Sallie House, that recording.
Oh, yeah.
From Eric Wilson.
Yeah, sightings.
Yeah? Okay, sightings.
Sightings, Heartland Ghost.
Okay.
Yep. But, I mean...
I'm just curious.
What blows my mind about it is, poor Tony.
Yeah, a little bit. But why'd he stick around? Well, I guess he did. He's not going to be like, oh, peace, kid.
I don't know why they didn't move.
My old lady.
Like, you know, in Amityville Horror, they couldn't afford to move. That they had all their money in the house, then finally they just left all their shit and left. Like, they even had sense in Amityville Horror to get up and leave. But they stayed there, I think, a little over 2 years.
I don't know.
And everyone always thought maybe their story's bullshit because they had the TV crew in there. It's publicity. It's this, it's that.
Yeah, were they getting paid? I'm sure they were getting paid for their time.
I'm sure. Like, at first they didn't want their names or their faces showed. It was all blurbed out.
Mm-hmm.
But then eventually they were like, screw it, everyone knows the house, everyone knows where it is
Yeah.
at this point, and they started showing their faces and giving their real names, because I think he went by, like, what do they call that?
I keep wanting to say a synonym, but that's not it.
He had a made-up
pseudonym?
anonymous name.
A pseudonym. Yeah, instead of being Tony, we're going to call him Teddy.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But that isn't
Or
what they
Demon
called
Dave.
him, but yeah.
I had a question. Oh, so these people, this was 1993, so like 20 years ago, right?
Mm-hmm. And supposedly that's the last time.
At least 20 years ago, because my math's bad.
And that's what the Chamber of Commerce said. No one's been hurt
30
in there since
years ago?
93. And I'm assuming Tony was the one that was last hurt in there in 93.
So, okay, 30 years ago. Are they still alive, presumably, floating around somewhere? I'm sure the baby is, right? Because the baby would be 30-something?
Yeah, they were young. They were a young couple. They weren't real old.
No, I mean, I'm just assuming that they're not 60 years old having a baby in 1993. Just assuming.
No,
Maybe
no, they weren't.
some folks do.
They were probably our age or a little bit younger.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Having kids.
Oh, probably significantly younger.
She's very young. She's young, blonde, and athletic, thin. He's blonde and thin also.
Oh, I hate them. Thin, young, blonde. I'm just kidding. I'm sure they're lovely.
But Tony, man, what were you thinking staying in that house that long? Soon as she appeared to me in the kitchen, and I knew for sure there was something in there.
Nope. Peace.
Or as soon as I got hurt.
Well, all right, we all know people like this. They thrive on drama. Even though like, whatever's going on in their life is a shitty, horrible situation, they stay there. They have a way out. They have other options, but they still stay there. And you're asking yourself, why? Why would they stay? They do it by choice, not because they were coerced, not because they're being forced. They just stay. And it's because the drama is fine with them. The activity is fine. Whatever it is fine with them. I know people like that.
Being scratched, bit, burnt, pushed down the stairs, that's not fine with me.
But the fact that there's some sort of excitement in your life, not you particularly, but in your life, is like sometimes for some folks, I guess, a lot better than just having every day be exactly the same. Than having the monotony of a routine.
It's true, and he got on the TV and so did his family.
Right, it's something, like, not everybody has that experience to speak about later in life. You know what I mean? Hey, I was,
I wonder how much they talk
attacked.
about that now.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Do they reflect on that and go, wow, that was a messed up time?
Tony and Deborah Pickman, if you're out there, reach out.
I'm wondering, do they? Do they sit there and still go, geez, I'm so glad we got out of that house? Or are they like, man, that was kind of cool? I don't know. I think I'd just be like, glad that's over. It's fun while it lasted.
I just never had seen anything like it before. Like ghost shows now. It's so different. They're walking around with infrared cameras and recorders and all that kind of stuff, and they had it back then, but the technology now is like
so much better.
So better. And to see like the way they did it back then, I mean, they're all just sitting there in their folding chairs with their cameras rolling. Like it's the news.
The folding chairs.
Like it's the news. He's sitting there in a folded chair. The interviewer guy's in a folded chair. They got a table to the side with the sound equipment on it and stuff. I mean, it's very retro. It's
of the times.
It was so weird to, like, in 93, I wouldn't give a rat's ass about that sightings video.
Right, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? To see it, but to watch it now, back then, I was like, man, I'm glad things are better now with technology.
Right. It's like every once in a while I watch an old movie that I used to just love. And I watch it now and I'm like, what was I thinking? And it's not because it's a bad movie, but it's just because everything about it is bad, if that makes sense. Like, the movie's still great, but it's just the technology has come so much further. You're like, wow.
I'll tell the kids, hey, let's sit down and watch this movie from like 1983. I was only a year old, and I remember watching this growing up. It's an awesome movie, and then I'm sitting there with it, and I'm like, that was way better back then.
Yeah. Still awesome, just in a much different way now.
I do love my old movies, and since tomorrow is Friday the 13th,
Dun 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 dun.
I will not be able to have my usual marathon.
Oops, sorry. Why not?
Because he's dragging me out of the house.
Oh, well, at least you're getting out of the house. Shoot. You can marathon a little bit in the morning and marathon a little bit when you get back.
Shit, I can't marathon while he's sleeping.
No? Wake him
I
up?
could watch it on the little TV in the living room, but the thing's like this big, y'all. I ain't working with it.
It's like this big.
It's like this big, and mine in the room is like this big.
Well,
Worst place to have big TV is a flat out lie. They say you shouldn't have a television in your bedroom because it interferes with your sex life.
that explains so much. I have 2 in my bedroom. No. I do have 2 in my bedroom, though.
But yeah, that's a...
Why would that interfere with your sex life? Like, stop. I'm busy. I'm watching this. Like, wait till the commercial. Like, is that what it is?
My
Like,
husband,
it's a
my husband
distraction?
would be like, fuck that, and he'd be turning the TV off.
Yeah, but is that the premise of that? It's like distracting or something? I don't know.
I don't know.
There's nothing on TV that I can't watch later, I assure you. You know what I mean? Like, it'll be there. It'll be there later. Pause it. Something.
DVR.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I think that's all we have for you right now. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out our social medias. We haven't been real active on them lately. We had a lot going on.
Yeah. We all had cooties of one kind or another. We've had some horrifying weather here. Well, I guess it's not that bad. We've had a nor'easter for like a week solid. So it's been blowing, raining, no sun, just, boo type weather.
First, it was the attack of the pollen.
The pollening.
And then Daniel somehow catches frickin' flu in April. And now we're on, our second week of May
Yeah.
already? Where's it gone? Where's time going?
And it's barely warm outside. I think today was warmer and less
58
windy,
degrees,
but-
right?
No, it got up to 63, I think. Something like that.
That ain't nothing. Bring
No.
on the heat.
Normally this time of year, it's quite toasty here. Like, air conditioner's running anyway at my house, so.
I'm ready for it to get
Normally.
so hot the grass burns.
Oh, it's coming. It's coming. Once this finally moves on out of here, it'll be so hot you won't be able to stand it. Won't be able to get a breath of wind.
I'm taking my chunky ass to the beach this year.
I'm not. I hate the beach. I hate sand. I hate water where I can't see the bottom. I hate the beach.
I'm gonna go to,
I hate it.
public landing.
Take me to the lake. Or take me to a beach where there's crystal clear water and that squeaky white sand. I'm good with that.
I want to go to Florida.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about that earlier. It was like, what the hell was it? I was watching a video a woman had on YouTube, and she was like in some lows in Florida, and the wind was blowing, and I could smell the wind in my mind from Florida, if that makes any sense.
Memories.
Yeah,
It does.
It was just so weird how something about that particular video and that particular wind and her being like, "Oh, sorry, the wind's blowing," and it just triggered something. I was like, man. But yeah. What were we saying before I got sidetracked? I know we were getting ready to get out of here, but I got sidetracked.
Oh, we haven't been keeping up with the social medias.
Oh yeah, we're gonna try to get better about the social media thing. Well, I mean, we do great for a while, and then it's a dead zone for a while.
My problem is I started a Facebook page and I'm starting to like seriously loathe Facebook. So
I don't Facebook.
I don't know how often I'm going to be keeping that up anymore because they motherfuckers keep putting me in jail.
Constantly in Facebook jail.
And I'm feeling salty for it. And I had something new happen this week that I've never seen pop up on there before, and it's complete and total utter bullshit. My account's been restricted for 28 days. I'm on day 20 now, like, of what's left. But what they do is you can still post on there and you can still read everybody's stuff, but it puts your posts at the very bottom of the feed. Like, that's your punishment.
Really?
So I put on there, hey friends, I'm still here, just keep scrolling down.
So what if I have you, like, you know, you can pick, like, favorites or whatever that are supposed to show up at the top of your feed. Mm-hmm. You know how you can do that? Mm. You are one of the people I've done that to. I wonder if you still show up at the top of my feed, or if they punish me because you're being punished by moving your post so I can't see it.
I don't know. But I posted the screenshot of the restriction they wrote for me. So you'll probably find more social media. What was leading to that is you'll find more social media stuff on Instagram than Facebook usually.
Yeah. Yeah, we're doing pretty good with the Instagram. We do okay with the TikTok. I think the Twitter is like, it's a non-starter. Braylon was supposed to do that. Bree.
She doesn't watch these. That's okay.
I think she listens sometimes. But, yeah, so that's what happened with that. Bray happened, or didn't happen.
And I took on the Instagram and the Facebook because Emily didn't happen.
Yeah, Emily was supposed to do the Instagram.
We're just calling all these bitches out tonight.
Yeah.
And Tater, where the fuck have you been?
She's working, apparently.
God, that's all that girl does, isn't it? She likes them money.
Yep, work and sleep, that's it. They did, her and Emily, that's why Emily's not here. They actually did set aside some time to go visit their mom for Mother's Day.
Oh, that's
a little
nice.
Bit late, but they both had the evening off together to go spend with her. So
it's the thought that counts, not the timing.
Well, I think she had to work too. So between the three of them, trying to get time off together is probably not the easiest thing in the world. But yeah.
All right, so I guess that about covers it for tonight. Thank you for listening or watching. Whichever you're doing, or both. Check out our YouTube, our Instagram, our Facebook. We'll have a little bit of stuff on there. Our TikTok.
The website is linked below, and you will find all the links to the social medias there.
Yes, and next time I will be coming back with the Villisca axe murders.
I'm into it. Well, I mean, I'm not into axe murders. I'm into hearing the story of, well, maybe not. I don't know yet if I should say that.
You're not going to be into hearing the story. It's like so much stuff that I found on it that I want to make sure.
Right. Well, I still look
there was a lot of facts that were listed that I've been finding where people have like disputed that, and I kind of want to do both
sides. Mm-hmm. I gotcha. Okay.
Pardon me. All right. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.